Guys, and welcome to another episode of the podcast. Today it's Thursday. I'm joined by Alyssa, so we can do a weekly pod talks. And today we're going to be talking about what you can expect from a fitness coach, an online fitness coach, because I feel like many of you maybe know the basics. You know that you're gonna get your meal plan, you know that you're gonna get your training program, but there's way more than just a meal plan and the training program when it comes to coaching. So we want to cover everything so you have a better understanding of what you should be expecting if you start working with us or if you start working maybe with a different coach. But what I'll be telling you is just from what we do with our clients, like from our personal experience. Every coach is different, so don't expect everyone to be the same. So we're just talking about me and Alyssa and exactly what we do with our clients. But how are you, Alyssa? How are you feeling today?
Yes, much better than last week, thank gosh. But
Mm.
yeah, just excited to jump on here again, and thank you for all of those who listen, been getting some like good feedback. But yeah, just remember, I think a lot of people are shy, like tell us what you want to hear more of, so that we can help you. But I think this podcast will be good because I think a lot of people are a bit hesitant to go down the path of getting an online coach because they don't know what to expect. And
Yeah.
especially because it's online, I feel like people think that they're going to be left in the dark. So at least we can kind of go through, what we do and, what's the best way to, communicate with your coach as well to make sure that it's a good experience being online.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, I think maybe let's get it started by saying like just like any business, because coaching is also a business, there's gonna be good coaches out there that want the best for you. And there's also gonna be coaches out there that maybe they just want your money and nothing else. They don't really care too much about helping you, which is sad, yes, but it's just like anything, like any business, like a dentist, a doctor, I don't know, a plumber, anything. Like
yeah.
some people just want the money, they just want to get the job done and get the money. And then others, they care a little bit more. They do different things to make sure that the whole experience is a really good experience. And that's exactly what we do with our clients. Like for me, when I think about coaching, or if I was to describe coaching in a few words, I will say coaching, it's not just the meal plan and the training program, but it's more the work we do behind the screens. So by
Yeah.
this, I mean the mindset work that we do, the habits that we change, the communication that we have. I think communication is such an important piece of the puzzle in coaching, because if there's no communication, there's no trust. If there's no trust, nothing is going to happen. So I will say, yeah, in a few words, that's what coaching is about. It's working about those things that people don't realize that you need to work on or improve to help you get there. It's not just following or sticking to those calories and getting the workout done. Mindset is the number one thing. The body is so strong, you can do whatever with your body, but with your mind, that's the thing, or the muscle that takes forever to change. So that's the one thing that we focus on mainly, so we can help you with that. And that's why I believe like having that accountability from a
Mm.
coach. And I say a coach because some people say like, yeah, my partner will help me, my boyfriend is a PT, my friend, my cousin, my sister-in-law. It's different because when they know you, it's easier for you not to respect them and not to
Yeah.
follow whatever they tell you. But when it comes from someone else that you respect, and because you're investing your money as well, it's easier to listen to them, be a little bit more open-minded, take that feedback, and then work on the things that you have to work on. But how will you describe coaching? And yeah, your coaching or maybe coaching in general.
I think the best way to describe it is you actually get what you pay for. And why I say that is because coming from someone who was a PT, like a personal trainer in a gym for so many years, and this is not me putting down personal trainers because I've been there before, and there are so many good personal trainers out there. But for example, when a client pays for a PT session, it's a lot of what happened in that session, and then what happens outside is not controlled. So
Mm,
I feel like, and that was the biggest thing for me that I found hard. When I was a PT, I really wanted people to get results. I was so fixated on it, but I was like, I do not have that control outside of that session. There was no weekly check-ins, there was none of that. There was sort of like a check-in chat when you would see them,
yeah.
but it was very different. And I feel like with online coaching, like with me, I have, okay, this is the day you need to check in by. A set of questions, they rate how they'll feel in their hunger, everything. Like there's so much information that I'm getting from that. that I can then say, okay, this is what we need to work on this week. And it's not always about the weight loss. It's about, like you were saying before, the mindset. Like I had some that were like, I wasn't sleeping this week, stress was high, I couldn't get this workout in because of this. And then it's like, you give them the strategies to help them overcome that. I feel like a lot of my time with coaching is trying to help them set up their week for success, or how can we fix this problem that you're having? Not just, okay, here's your food, here's your program, like go do it. So I feel like that's why the online coaching, I just feel like it's so much better. And a lot of people say that it's not, when they're not an online coach and they work in a gym, but now seeing it from both sides. I've been in a gym and now not. I've gotten so much better results online with my clients because it's the accountability side. They know they have to check in by this day. So throughout the week, they're thinking that subconsciously, like, I've got to check in. So I've got to make sure I tick all those boxes. Even with myself, like, and this is what I say to my clients, like, I've always had a coach, not because I don't know what I'm doing, because the accountability. I'm like, okay, you know what? I've got to check in on this day, so I'm going to make sure that I tick all those boxes. It's just that accountability side, and I think it's so important. And I think some people sometimes think having a coach is a sign of a weakness, but it's not. The strong people I know, the best coaches I know, the best athletes I know have a coach, because it's that accountability, it's that checking in, it's someone else's perspective, like you were saying before, not just, oh, my partner's a trainer, he can help me. It's having that outside perspective. So I think it's really important. And I just think, if you're looking for a weight loss journey, and we're not just saying this because we're coaches, invest in an online coach. Trust me when I say that, because the online coaches set time aside to go through the information they have and then come up with a plan. You know what I mean? When you're in a gym and you've got back-to-back sessions, you don't have that downtime to sit and go, okay, let's map out this. You know what I mean? Like, even when I was in a gym, I felt like I was trying to discuss so many things with my clients, but I had to get to the next session. So it's like, you can't get all that info. Like, it was really hard. So that's why I think it's so beneficial. Me, myself, I've always had coaches online too. And it's like, you would go a year, maybe more, without seeing them. Some of my clients haven't even met in person, but it's like, we have such a good relationship, So, I think that would be the best way to describe it. Better accountability, better mindset, and I think just better data gathering, because you're actually, like, online, you're using the systems to gather that data, whereas in person you can just say, yeah, well, I felt okay this week, and then it's like, it's more generalized. So what do you think about that? It's like, you're with that?
I think, because I used to do PT as well before I started with online coaching. And like with PT, they only pay you for that 1 hour, or maybe even half an hour. Like some sessions were half an hour.
Mine were half an
A week.
hour.
Yeah, which is absolutely nothing. Like if you wanna,
Yeah.
like I said, if you truly want to help this person to lose body fat or gain muscle mass, whatever the goal is, in 1 hour, you only go through the session. You cannot really ask them too many things. Like even if you do have the time, maybe 10 minutes after, to ask them, like, how is everything going? Like a little check-in. That's not enough to keep them accountable, because there is 6 days of the week, they're gonna be by themselves. They're gonna be probably eating whatever, because there's no one watching them. There's no one holding them accountable. So it's much easier for them not to reach their goals, because there's no one behind. And that's why, like, when people tell me, like, I prefer to work someone one-on-one, at the gym, so like face to face. I'm like, cool, yeah, I get it. Like if you want to improve your technique, I completely understand. But you're telling me that you're struggling to lose weight because you're eating too much on the weekends, or because of this, or because of that. How do you think that personal trainer is going to help you with that? How do you think they can help you change those habits? Or how do you think, or what I was saying before, like your boyfriend, if your boyfriend is a PT and he knows, or he has so much knowledge, are you really going to listen to him? Like when I talk to my boyfriend about business, he's like, no, 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 like I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. And like if someone else, his coach, his business coach, will tell him the exact same thing that I told him, but because it's coming from him, and
that's right.
There's that different level of respect. Like obviously my boyfriend respects me, but because he knows he has more knowledge to that topic, He's going to
That's
listen
right.
to that person. He's not going
Exactly.
to listen to me. Even though I have a little bit of knowledge, he's not going to listen to
Yeah,
me. It's the
exactly.
exact same thing with fitness. And that's why we both have coaches, fitness coaches, business coaches, because we're
Yeah.
not experts. We're always learning. We have to improve. We have to grow. And the only way to grow is by being coached by someone that has a little bit more knowledge than you or way
Yep.
more knowledge than you, but that person has walked the path and they have experience what you have experienced, so they can relate and they can coach you and they can guide you better.
Yeah,
And I
definitely.
think, yeah, like when if you get a coach and you only get the meal plan and the training program and nothing else, don't be afraid to start working with someone else. Like, don't be afraid to say no. You know what? Like, how do I
Yeah,
say this?
don't feel like you have to be,
Stay with that coach.
yeah, stay with
Yeah.
that same person. Like I know people that have had five, six, seven coaches, you know what I mean?
Mm,
It's like till they found the right one. So sometimes it's not even that they're a bad coach. It might just be that they don't work well for you or with you. There's I feel like you have to sometimes be suited to certain people.
mhm,
So and that's not saying that, you can't work with certain people, but it's like you might just gel better with someone else. And some people have to go through a few to get there. But really think about coaching. You've got to think about it is, am I getting everything I need from that? All the tools that I need to be successful. Like you said, if you're just getting a meal plan training program, yeah, all looks good. And then no other communication, no other strategies to help them, then that's when you should question, okay, is this somewhere where I want to invest my money?
mm,
You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, us as coaches, yes, we're giving them nutrition and exercise, but we really need to set them up for success for long-term results. You know what I mean? Like a lot of the transformations that we post, they're not 4 weeks, they're not 6 weeks, they're months, if not a year more, because that's how you should work with a coach. And another thing that we can also discuss as well is with a coach, don't just be so fixated on the result that you get in a specific time frame. When you're working with a coach, you should be working with a coach after you've lost the weight or got to that end goal, because
mhm,
it's so important after, and this is where I feel a lot of people go wrong. They get a coach, they really do well. Like over the 3 months, oh my God, amazing, get amazing results. How long do they hold that result for? A month. And then
mhm.
it's gone.
Yeah.
And it's like all that hard work because they were so used to the accountability that when they lost that, they felt they could be a lot more relaxed. So, like, it's even with me in my off season, I still have a coach because I still want to make sure that I'm checking in. I still want to make sure I'm ticking those boxes. So I feel like people really don't understand the after as well and how important it is to continue working with a coach. A lot of people will be like, oh, coaches just say that to keep to keep clients. It's not. It's like
It's not. It's not.
that your body's so vulnerable after a dieting phase and going through that and getting to that result. It's hard, and your body's had to go through a lot of changes. And if you just go back to your old habits, doing what you've done before, you will not maintain that result. And I still can't comprehend it, how people put themselves through that for months and then they can't even maintain it for a month. And it's like,
Yeah.
because you just let yourself go. You invested that time, the money, the energy into that process, but you can't maintain it. You know what I
Mm,
mean? And it's like, you really need to think about, where should I be investing my money if I really want this to be a long-term thing? We're not saying, you need to work with a coach for the rest of your life till like, do you die? But it's like, you
mm.
should be working with a coach long term,
Yeah. Yeah.
because that's what's going to get you the results. That
Yeah.
phase after is just as important as the phase, like when you're in the weight loss
Yeah.
journey. Yeah.
100%. And I think like that's why like with my clients, I work with them for at least a year and a half,
Yeah.
because like I truly, truly, and strongly believe that 3 months, it's honestly not enough. To make progress, yes, but to change habits, it's not enough time. And
No,
I've had,
no.
yeah, plenty of people that I think they get too excited after 3 months or even 2 months, because they feel like Yeah, I got the results. I got what I wanted. Now I can leave. Now I can go and do my own thing. I think I've got the tools, whatever. I can do my thing, blah, blah. And it's always the same thing. Like after a few weeks, Danny, I'm lost. Danny, I don't
Yeah.
have that accountability. Danny, I'm going back to square one. Danny, I don't feel happy in my body anymore. Danny, I put on weight. And it's because you just have to you just have to remember that the person that you were before you joined the program or you started with your journey, you were that person for years and years and years and
Yeah,
years. And you had those habits for so long. Like
can't
it's
change it overnight.
crazy. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me that people just expect to change that in just 3 months. And I know
Yeah.
3 months may sound like a long time because it's like, yeah, 3 months, 12 weeks, but it's not. 12
Yeah.
weeks, it's nothing compared to the 10 years, 5 years,
That's right.
6 years of like you overeating, having too many takeaways, having too much alcohol, not drinking enough water,
Yeah.
sleeping only 5 hours a day. It's you gotta think about those things. And I think it's because yeah, people maybe I don't know, they don't see the value, they don't see
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
I just
think
don't
it's
know what it
just
goes.
they're so fixated on the end result, and it's like the end is not there's never an end, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. Like you're always going to be working on something, no matter how good you are, you know what I mean? And it's like, and this is I see it, a lot of people use these transformations to market, but what people don't realize, a lot of those transformations they got, I guarantee you those people wouldn't look like that now. That's what
Mhm.
they got in that time frame.
Yeah.
Maybe look at them now when they're out of that, they probably don't. So it's like you need to invest yourself in a coach that you know is going to help you long term and is going to work with you longer than just that weight loss phase. The clients that I have that are the most successful are the ones that continue.
Yeah.
And it's not because, okay, yes, at the end of the day, we run a business, but we're actually coaching you, but it's not something that can happen in a short time frame. You know what I mean? And it's like you said before, people have been this way for so many years. It's not going to change overnight. And it's like just having that accountability. Like I can't stress enough the importance of having a coach, no matter what you're doing, like in anything, business coach, nutrition and exercise coach. If you play a sport, you have a coach, soccer, football, whatever it is, you have a coach because you need that. You need that in order to progress. You need that in order to be successful.
Yeah.
So really think about when you hire a coach. I think this is another, like a mindset thing as well. I'm going to do this long term. I'm not going to think of it as a challenge. I'm not going to go, killing myself and setting unrealistic goals. You know what I mean? Like I'll say to my girls, like, we're not going to be doing endless amount of cardio. We're not going to be doing anything too unnatural where you can't sustain that. You know what I mean? Yes, okay. In that weight loss phase, you might have to push yourself into a deficit. You might have to add some cardio in, but nothing where it's so extreme that by 6 weeks you're burnt out and then
Mhm.
you can't do anymore. So
Exactly.
it's really about small changes and then that will lead to the bigger result. So yeah, it's just
Mhm.
important to think about like anyone that's listening to this and thinking, oh, like I really want to lose weight. And a lot of the people that come to me, even they've been unhappy for so long. And it's like they're so hesitant to make that decision because I think they do realize, some of them, this is the big investment. And it is. We're not saying that
That's
it's,
such a good point. Yes.
and they're hesitant because like I've had people ask me, oh, do you do like, can we just do 4 weeks? And I'm like,
Yeah.
no, I
Yeah.
won't do it because in 4 weeks we're going to have to do drastic measures to see results. And it's like, people still question, oh, why do your programs go for so long? And it's like, because I want to make sure that you get the best experience. I want to make sure that you get the best result. If you're not working with me for a long time, you're just going to think of it as a challenge.
Mhm.
And it's like you're going to go all in, not going to be sustainable. And then it's like that result will not be, yeah, you won't be able to keep it off. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's why people hold back, because some people know and some people don't. But I think people know it's an investment and they've got to be mentally ready for it. It's like you've got to be ready to change your habits. You've got to be ready to have that open communication. You've got to be ready to change your life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not temporarily, like change it for good.
Yeah,
you
but
know?
then like when are you gonna be ready? Like especially if you have been feeling this way
Yeah,
for such a long time. Like sometimes
yeah,
like interviews with people and tell me, yeah, I've been feeling this way for the past 6 years, 7 years.
yeah,
And then when I
yes,
tell them, okay, perfect, I do 12 months or six
yeah,
months. I don't do anything less than that.
yeah,
And same as you, like, can I do monthly just to see how it goes? No, because monthly, nothing is gonna happen in 1 month.
yeah,
Like we only gonna get to know each other in 1 month. I'm gonna get to know your body, how your body reacts. 1 month is nothing is gonna happen, and then you're gonna feel maybe disappointed. Maybe you're gonna tell yourself this is not working, this is not for
that's
me,
right.
this is the way my body's
Mhm.
gonna be forever. And yeah, but I think, like you said, it's the commitment part. They don't want to
Yeah,
commit
the
because they're
commitment.
afraid that, okay, now I need to change something.
Yeah,
Now I need to start looking after myself. Now I need to say no to those takeaways every single weekend. Now I have to get up and go to the gym. Now I have, people like to be in the comfort zones and they like to do the things that they're used to doing every single day,
yeah,
especially if they're in that place that in a dark place. They're
yeah,
way too comfortable there. And even though they say they want to get out of there, subconsciously, they don't want to get out of there because
that's
it's just
right.
comfortable. It's just
Yeah.
comfortable. Me staying here, eating my
You
chips
have
or
to
doing
you
this,
have to
doing
want
that.
change. You know what I mean? You have to really want it.
Yeah.
Like, really sad as well that people feel like they have to. It's like, I'm doing this because I have to. Don't have to, like, do it because you want to do it. You want to change your life. Like, I don't think people realize, and this is not being what's the word? Like, well, it's not all about body image, but your body image affects so much of your mindset and your life. I know people that are depressed because they're overweight. Your depression is from something that you can control. So why not fix that? You know what I mean? It's like, I know people that have been like, they say to me when they first joined, like, I didn't want to go out. I don't want to wear this. I don't want to go here. I don't want to go there. Oh, the people that are around, they're like not overweight. I am, that feeling of constant, embarrassment, and they want to hide away. And it's like, you have the capability to change that. It's different when someone has depression because of something in their life that's happened that's traumatic, or something in their life that's happened that it was out of their control. But if you've got something that's depressing you that you can have control over, I don't understand why people don't do it, you know?
I think it's because sometimes
Yeah.
some people don't want to accept that because
Yeah,
of the way I look or the way I feel about my body, this is holding me back from doing this and doing that.
yeah,
I feel like some of people find it so hard to accept that.
yeah,
Why? I don't know why, but it's like you just need to accept it. And yes, it's disappointing maybe for yourself that you got yourself to that place, but you can change that. Like you can change
yeah,
that 100%. But if you keep waiting for the perfect time, if you keep
yeah.
waiting to have the money,
Mm,
if you keep waiting to get that new job that you want to get, if you keep waiting, no, for whatever you're waiting, you're gonna keep
yeah,
waiting. It's always gonna be like that. It's
that's
always gonna be like, yeah, yeah, no, this just came up in my life. I need to fix this first, and then I'll get it started. Or
yeah,
this, I'm feeling too stressed right now. I need to calm down a little bit, and then I get started. But it's like, it's literally now and never. I know it
yeah.
sounds so like, yeah, whatever. We
It
hear
sounds
that
like
all the time.
cliche. Yeah,
Exactly, but
yeah,
it's because it's true. Like when it's cliche, it's because it's true. Like it's
yeah.
100% true. It's always the simple and the basic things that we have to get done that we don't want to do. It's like the things that we want to do, sorry, that we know we should be doing, but we don't do it because we don't have
That's
that.
right. Yeah, and you shouldn't base your like. I feel like a lot of people base their journey on. I've got this event. I've got this wedding that
Mhm.
I need to look good for that. It's like, why
Yeah.
do you need to look good for that? Like, do it for yourself. You know what I mean? I get the whole you want to look good in your dress and all of that, but I think people a lot of people that join as well, they've got already a bad mindset. They're not thinking of the results for themselves. They're thinking about, oh, because of what others will think. And it's like, no, you need to do this for yourself, for your health, for your mindset, for your own life, And I say this all the time on my page, like you have one life and one body. I'm not saying that everyone needs to walk around like a supermodel, you know what I mean? But it's like you want to walk around knowing I've worked for this body, I'm happy in my body. Like you don't realize when you're happy in yourself, body wise, your confidence, your mood, everything changes. It's like you would know, even with us, like we've been through it as well, where we've been at stages where we're like, oh, we don't feel good because we looked like this before. You know what I mean? And it's like that mindset, it really affects your mind, your mood. You're kind of like, oh, do I want to wear this? because, I don't feel confident. So yeah, I think it's just taking that step, taking that leap of faith and trusting in a coach, building a relationship with them. I always try to really build a relationship with my clients so that
Mm.
I can understand them better. They feel comfortable coming to me to talk about anything, and just having that open communication. So, if there's someone you've been looking at, and you're like, oh, I feel like I really resonate with this person, with this coach, like just give it a go. Like you won't look back. You know what I mean? It will be like the
Yeah.
best decision that you make. And, I think as well, like the money side of things, you've got to remember as well, I think if people don't pay for something, they don't take it seriously either.
100%.
Like, I feel
100%.
like if you're paying for a service, subconsciously you're like, I've paid for that. I want to give, you know what I mean? So when people say, oh, don't want to pay, like I just want to, I'll just follow some videos on YouTube or whatever. It's like, well, you're not going to do that consistently because you're not paying for it. You don't feel that. And I know that sounds kind of weird and people will be like, oh, that's, some people might take that the wrong way, but it's true. Like when you pay for something, you want to invest yourself in it because you're like, I've invested money into this. I want to make sure that I make it worth it as well. So that's
And
why,
yeah.
yeah, I think it's important to keep that in mind as well. You paying for something. It's like I even had one girl, she was like, all right, she hadn't started yet, but she's like, all right, I want to pay because then I know I'm committed, no backing out. You know what I mean? And it's like she knew putting that payment down, it's like, yeah, that's it. I'm committed now. You know what I mean? It sounds so silly, but it's true.
Yeah, it's true, 100%. And I feel like when something is free or when something it's cheap, people don't appreciate it. People don't
No,
take it serious. Like think about it. Like I'm sure there's so many subscriptions that you have right now on your phone or your TV, and you don't even care about them because it's so cheap. And I can guarantee you're probably not using any of them. Maybe just one,
yeah,
maybe two, but there's probably plenty of subscriptions on your phone. Or like Netflix. I'm pretty sure we all have a Netflix account. Do we use it? I don't use it. I use it maybe like once a week, once a month. Like
same.
I
Yeah,
barely use it, but I don't cancel it because it's cheap. Like I don't really care about it. And it's
yeah,
coaching. Like if you get it for free, you simply won't put the effort. And if you
yeah,
pay cheap, you simply won't put the effort because you're like, it's only $30 a month, like whatever. If I do
yeah.
it, fine. If I don't do it, I don't care.
Not a
But
big deal. Yeah,
not a big deal. Yeah. But if you invest your money and you put a little bit more of your money, more investment, then you feel like, okay, now I need to get myself together because I paid this amount of money. I
yeah,
need to get my things done. I need to get things done. Otherwise, what's the point? What's the point? But there's also some people that do make the investment and they don't do anything at all
yeah,
because they are afraid of maybe commitment. Maybe money is not an issue
yeah,
for them and they're just afraid of committing to something. Maybe they feel like they're gonna fail. I don't know what goes through their mind, but there's so many emotions. So it's like, yeah, investment is good, but if you have the money, I feel like the investment has to be bigger or something has to happen for you to be like, okay, I need to make this work. But
yeah.
yeah, that's kind of like what you will expect from a coach, just like a quick summary, but also something to think about. It's what we expect as coaches from you as a client,
Mm. Yeah,
because this is only gonna work if we work together. This
yeah,
is only gonna
100%.
work if we have that communication. That's something that you mentioned. I think having that open communication with your client helps so much because if it's like any relationship, if there's no communication, that relationship is not gonna work.
Crumbles, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not gonna work. So I think, yeah, and that's something I always tell my clients is like, I want to give you my 100% as your coach, but
yeah,
I expect the same from you.
yeah, that's right.
Because if you only give me your 10%, I cannot go home to your house and feed you. I cannot wake
Yeah,
you
that's
up and
right.
take you to the gym. Like you gotta
Yeah,
take responsibility as well. Like I know obviously it's
yeah,
hard, that's why you're working with me or with a coach. But you there's a side of you that has to be like, okay, I need to stop with my bullshit, with my excuses,
yeah,
and I need to get
that's
work
right.
done. Because
100%.
it's 50-50, like any relationship. It's all sometimes it's gonna be obviously maybe 60-40, sometimes it's gonna be 70-30, but you
Yeah,
just balance it and you gotta make sure that you're doing the work as a client as well.
yeah,
Not as a coach.
100%. And like being honest as well, like the biggest thing as well is like if you are questioning why you're not getting results, but it's because you're not being adherent to the plan or you're not doing the right thing, you can't turn around and say to your coach, it's not working. It's
Yeah.
not working because you're not following it. Like we set the plan, we are helping you be accountable, but it's like you've got to actually implement that. And like another thing as well, like on my meal plans, I make sure that I have like the calorie and macro breakdown. So, and I say to my clients, like, if you go out, make that swap. If you want to eat out or if you want to eat off plan, I really try to teach them to
Mm.
be independent with that and be able to know what does 100 grams of protein, like, how can I sub that out? How can I supplement, my sweet potato for something else? You know what I mean? Like if I'm out. So little things like that. And it's like teaching them how to do that. And that's why I always have the calories and macros there so that they can make those choices. But it's like you can't expect you're at a restaurant messaging your coach at like at 8 o'clock at night for them to pick off the menu for you. You know what I mean? Like some of my girls, they're good. Like if they know they're going out for the weekend and they've got the menu, they might send it before and be like, "Oh, what do you think I should
Yeah.
have?" And that's fine. But you shouldn't wait till you get there and then be like, expect your coach to reply to you at 8 p.m. What should I have? Or you're at the shops. Oh, is this what I meant to get? Or like, should I get this? Can I get this? It's like you've got to use what we've taught you to really, make those choices, and learn about foods. Like, see, oh, okay, this amount of protein equals this amount of calories, like try to really learn about it. Don't just look at your meal plan and be like, yep, yep, yep. Be like, okay, what could I actually substitute this for if I'm feeling like this? So I think it's about being not independent completely because that's why you've hired a coach, but learn to adopt some of these strategies that are going to help you so that you can use what we've given you, but make it fit in with your life, without you waiting there patiently for us to reply. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
And
I
I
think
think
that,
like, yeah, I think
yeah,
that's another reason why working with a coach for longer makes a
yeah,
difference. Because like at the beginning, yes, you're gonna need that coach a little bit more. And by this, I mean like you're gonna need, you're always gonna be asking questions. You're always gonna
yeah,
be asking like, what's the best option? What should I do with this? How should I do this and that? But the more you do it, the easier it's gonna get. You're always gonna have a question. Always, 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 always. But the
that's
more
right.
you do it and the longer you work with a coach, the more they're gonna be able to help you, the more tools you're gonna learn. And then with time, you're gonna get to one point that you'll be ready to work by yourself. Because
Yeah,
that's also our goal as a coach is like we don't want you to work with a coach for the rest of your life. There's gonna
yeah,
be
like,
a point that you're gonna be ready to work by yourself, but that's not after 3 months, that's not after
yeah,
6 months, that's not after 12 months.
yeah,
It's
it
gonna
takes
take time.
time. Yeah,
It's
100%.
gonna take a lot of time. Yeah. And I think, yeah, it goes two ways. Like, if you are not getting the results, you just have to be honest with yourself. Is it really my coach? Maybe it's a coach, maybe it can be the coach. Maybe they're not giving you the right tools. But if you
Yeah,
know they're giving you everything right, okay, I'm getting what I need. Why am I not making progress? Am I sticking
yeah,
to the meal plan? Am I
yeah.
doing my 3 training sessions a week? How
Mm,
many meals am I having a week? Am I going over my calories, under my calories? Like, what am I doing? Like, it's just so
mm.
easy to blame someone else, blame the
Yeah, it is. It is.
and
It's
not
very
take responsibility.
like even I know some people and they would tell me after and I'm like, why didn't you tell me this? Like, during they'd be like, oh, I'm actually picking throughout the day, right? So they're saying they're sticking to the plan. They're sticking to the plan, but they're 20 grams of peanut butter, they put 20 grams on and they eat another tablespoon. Okay, you've just now gone over your cup. It sounds so silly, but that extra tablespoon, we know peanut butter, like it's maybe 120 calories for a tablespoon. If you do that every day, you've just added like 600 calories to your week, your average over the week. So you might not be in a deficit. And then you're questioning, but I've stuck to my plan. You know what I mean? But have you? What are you
Mm,
doing outside of that? All those, I know it sounds silly, but all those licks and bites and, oh, I'll just have a little bit of extra this, that adds up over the week. And I feel like people, when they tell you I'm sticking to the plan, they're just thinking of, oh yeah, I've eaten all my meals, but they're not actually telling you,
what's
what
in
you did
between?
outside of that. And that can make the biggest difference. I know people say, oh, it's just a little bit, but if you actually look at it over the week, it's like, well, then are you actually in a deficit to lose weight? You're probably not. You're probably at maintenance or you're probably in a surplus. You know what I mean? So I think that's so important as well. Just remember all those licks and bites and everything that you're having, it makes a difference.
Mm. And I
So
think,
be honest with your coach. Like say
yeah,
to your coach, this is what I've been doing, I've been hungry, like communicate, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think maybe sometimes there's not that communication because people are maybe embarrassed or maybe
Yeah,
they're afraid that they may think that you're going to judge them or they may think that you're going to say something. But we as coaches, our goal is to help you. We're not here
that's
to
right.
judge you. We're not here to
Yeah,
make fun of you. Like we've done those mistakes ourselves. So we
yeah,
know how it feels. We know how you're thinking. We know how you're feeling. So talk to us. Like if something you feel like, okay, I've eaten out 3 times last week. I've done this, I've done that. Like talk to us. Like we as good coaches, like someone that truly cares about you, we will guide you. Okay, this happened. Let's reflect. Why did this happen? Why did you
yeah,
feel like having that extra meal? Are you feeling anxious? Are you feeling stressed? Is there something going on at home? Just breaking everything down and getting to the bottom of the issue, it's gonna make things much easier for you because then you're gonna learn, then you're gonna manage that situation better next time, then you're gonna learn the right tool or get the right tools to handle that situation better next time. So yeah, we are not here to judge you. We're not
no,
here to make fun of
definitely not.
you. We're not here to point fingers at you and say that you should this, like blah blah blah. It's not like that. We just want to help you. And that's why we want to have that open communication. Because if
Yeah,
you're only telling us this much, like a little bit, and there's this much going on, there's only so much we can help you because then we don't know. Like we can only help with the things that we know from you. If we don't know everything, we don't need to know your whole life story, but just the
no,
things to help you, just the things to help you get those results, lose that body fat, maintain or gain that muscle mass. But is there anything else that you will say it's very important, or yeah, anything else from coaching that you will highlight?
I think just biggest message I think for most of us is like, be thinking about it, do it. You know, I don't think people realize how much it changes their life till they're in it. The biggest hesitation people have is, oh, it's a long-term commitment. It is, but it's worth it. And we're not just saying that because we're coaches. We're not just saying that because we want to make it. We've seen it. We've experienced it. The amount of people that we've worked with that have had success from it and have said they've never looked back. You know what I mean? So it's like, if you're thinking about it, take that leap of faith because you know what? It's not going to be a waste either way because something is going to happen. Whether that be, yeah, okay, you might not lose the amount of weight that you're going to lose, but you've adopted better habits. You've changed your life. You're eating healthier. You're just even moving more. Little things like that. Take those little wins and that's going to really make it all worth it.
Mm. This flies annoying me.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, you always have that flight. Just
you can see
love
it. Yeah.
every podcast. It's like, yep, I'm joining.
It's summertime. I think they just come. They know you're here. That's why they come.
Yeah.
But yeah, exactly what you say. Like make that investment, but most importantly, make that commitment to yourself. Because at the end of the day, you're doing this for yourself. You're not doing this for the coach. You're not doing this for someone else. You have to, or you want to do it for yourself because you want to get out of that place. You want to get out of that space that you're in right now. So don't be afraid. We're here to help you. We're here to make your life much, much easier. We're here to give you the tools. We're here to coach you, not to demand something from you. We expect for you to do the work because again
Yeah,
it's 50-50.
100%.
We are in
Yeah,
this together. We cannot force you to do something you don't want to do. We cannot go
yeah,
to your house and do the things for you. There's only
yeah.
so much we can do, but we expect you to also do the work and we expect you to communicate with us. But yeah, I think that was like a really good quick summary of like the things that maybe you should be. Yeah, I mean there's more than that, but I think that's a good overview of the things that you will expect working with a coach, but especially working with us. That's exactly what we do with our clients.
Yeah.
So yeah, don't think too much. Don't think about it. When people tell me they need to think about it, what do you have to think about?
Yeah.
Thoughts are in seconds. Think about an elephant. Think about a spider.
Yeah.
You're thinking about it. Like thoughts are just like within seconds. So you don't really have to think about it. You're just afraid of something. You're afraid of moving forward.
Yeah.
Like hopefully you can get something valuable out of this, guys. Don't think, take the action, commit, get it done, get out of that dark place. And if you like this episode, don't forget to share it on your social media. Tag me and Alyssa. Until next time. And as I always say, don't ever stop believing in yourself. Ciao.